So, here we are. Got to start dismantling this. Here is the mechanics for the steam powered record player. Get rid of that, that shouldn't be there. This was the turntable, and it sat on a round disc made of Knex. That was the center, and there was a very actually quite basic arrangement for supporting the tone arm, which has been taken out. I can't remember, I don't know whether it went there, I can't remember now. So this was the this would put the tone arm up and down on the record, and I'm here to make a recording of the way it was built, so if you ever want to recreate it. That was the steam engine. Used to turn that. Try and move the camera smoothly. I have a habit of waving it about. And there's the detail where the traction engine stood. And that's the pulley it drove. And the gears there. Had the option of solar power. You can see a little motor there. That's the solar power. Let's have a scan round here. There's the governor. Good look at that. There's a strut falling out there already, so. Possible. May want to build another one sometime. So taking it apart, because really it's just a bit too big to have lying around. I'm having a major sort out here, and there's another view of all that. Part of the structure down there, which all makes it a bit interesting. This is a fascinating thing. See these gears here? This is a very nice gear train actually, I'm quite chuffed with it. You see it has a certain kind of momentum to it. Something's rubbing somewhere, I don't know what's happening there. Something is rubbing, is it that? Yeah, that's it. That black one is a flywheel. And it gives it a kind of nice momentum-y feel to it. It does actually work. But interestingly enough, if I try and turn it too fast, this is fascinating too. You can see that wheel spinning. If I spin it too fast, it stops. Because what happens is that the weights swing outwards and lift that pulley up ever so slightly and press it against the underside of that white connector and struts, and that acts as a brake, and that makes a very, very good governor. That was really quite a successful part of the build. That controlled the speed. You can see the weights just move out when you speed it up. That's one of the reasons why I want to keep it all on record. And excuse me, there you have it. Now start take to bits, I suppose. They say the original deck was strut coming out like so, and then more struts and more struts to build a kind of octagonal single width frame that the turntable sat on. And I got as far as taking all that to bits when I thought I really need to keep this on record. So I'm now just going to start dismantling, and from this point on, I'll just put the camera down and start taking it to bits, and any useful information that comes about as I'm taking it to bits will obviously be on the video. So I hope that covers everything if you really want to build one, because it's quite a fascinating thing actually, and it was one to keep of posterity. But basically it was when I was made redundant from the power station. It was everyone was away, so I was on my own, and I really sort of got hooked into the idea of building a steam powered record player. It actually started out because my son wanted to know about how records worked. He'd never seen them, only CDs, and so I wanted to show him mechanical sound reproduction. And I thought, just to make it absolutely mechanical, it would be entirely steam driven, so there's no electricity anywhere. Although I did later add a solar motor, but I didn't see the little cog that goes on it would go there. That's the cog isn't on it just now, and that's how we how it started off, and it just sort of got more and more involved. And I'd never actually played with Knex before in my childhood. It was always Meccano, Lego, Fisher Technic, and I decided I would go Knex. I had a lot of fun with it, reliving a bit of childhood, following closing down from work, and yeah, it's been knocking about now for the best part of quite a few years now, and there's a strut falling out there, and so here we go. Start to take it to bits. And funnily enough, when he actually mooted the idea of a solar powered record player, I put my son on it, then younger son, and I said, you do something, have a go at building a frame. And he built the centre of this with the first couple of gears and this shaft, and then I got a bit of a bug, as it were, and started to try and refine it and get it working better. So I added to what was originally my son's original design, and that's no bad thing, because if you let the youngster have a go and then you add your own bit, it actually kind of educates them better than if you just build it for them, and they see ways that other things can be made better. So I'll just carry on rambling. Let's put this down here, and I'll take everything to bits. So back very soon. Right. Just got myself something to sit on. All of these boxes are going in the loft. I want to make some space to do other things. I've only been able to find sort of really small amounts of work, so I'm thinking of setting up a kind of electronics engineering design studio, which means I need space. And at the moment I've just chucked everything in the spare bedroom, which is what this is. I would actually like that needs washing. Some of these struts are dirty where they've been under the steam engine. So I'm setting up kind of a design studio, and so I need the space. And because my son has come through childhood, I have boxes and boxes of constructional toys stacked in my bedroom in these boxes. And now that he's grown up, I need to empty the bedroom out, and we've got a grandchild on the way, so we're going to keep some of the Lego out and all the Fisher Technic out, because I've got some projects still that I'm interested in robotics, and my son and I build to a very advanced standard, so there's still some projects ongoing. But the Fisher Technic, being a more advanced constructional toy, will take over from Knex. But of course, when the grandchild gets older, the Knex will probably come out again. But at the moment, they're too young. Well, they just end up swallowing the bits. So let's take this bit off altogether. This is the bit where the steam engine sat, and that's where the steam engine sat. Some of that's a bit dirty and greasy, so if I remember, I think possibly the front or the back wheel's located in there. So let's just start to come out. I'll break it down into sections. There's another bit. And if you ever rebuild it, it might turn out that the best thing to do is to pause the video at the point of where it's being rebuilt, so all these bits you can reassemble. And there's another bit there. And, so show the camera the bit that I'm taking off. There's a bit there and it comes out like that. How much video we got through? So looking at the back of the camera, it's done 11 minutes so far. This is a rather fascinating bit of the mechanism, like that, and let's just lifted that off. I'll probably keep that small bit of mechanism intact as it's only going in the box. It doesn't have to be dismantled down to the last bit. There's another piece coming off there. And that reveals the optional solar motor, which at the moment has its cog missing. Let's see if I can unhook this now. Oops, a bit pinned off. Where did that go? Go in the box. I'm going to take these struts out here. There's a bit on the end that you pin off. And there's a bit there, there's a connection under there that's come out, so there's another bit that's posterity. And these pieces here, which are just like that. Another one. Another one. I won't waste time taking those to bits. I'll do that when the films run out. I'll just take them off. And another bit. In fact, I don't need to take some of these smaller things to pieces. I need to knock it down into sections, and then it can be put away. Because, I think it'll be probably put away for quite a while actually, so as life changes and we all move on. And there's a drive shaft. That's the main drive shaft that went in there. And what's the best way of doing this? I think the trick's just to unhook it from there like that, and then hook it from there like that. Unhook it from there like that, and this whole piece comes off. There you go. So that'll be dismantled a bit further. And there's the gear train. There's a brace there knocking about, which I'll take out. And here's the gear train, complete with the black flywheel, which is rattling on a strut there. It's quite pretty, isn't it? And it's rather nice, that. It's shape taken to bits. But there you go. Let's take this bit off. And there's another bit. There's a view of the governor. Now it's actually lost its structural continuity now. But there's your governor. There's your complete governor. Well, let's take that out. There's the top. I can lift that off. And to facilitate its operation, there were those wash spacers that I dropped in, and there's the actual making of that. This just lifts off like that, and there's your complete governor, and I'll keep that. I won't take that to bits, I'll just put that in the box. But there's your that's how it was done. And obviously that bit just sits like that, and there you go. There's 5 silver spacers and 1 blue one, and that obviously sets it to the height. And there's a bit of frame here. They tended to push the thing apart, so I remember adding this bit on to make it more rigid. It was quite crazy. Once I had the engineering bug to get it working, I kept improving it, and but it did actually in the end work quite nicely. And the actual funnel, the actual speaker, was just a diamond stylus bought off eBay, El Cheapo thing, sellotape to a card paper cone. Again, that bit of it could have been further improved, but you know, it was only a novelty, and I got to a point where I decided I'd spent too much time on it, and stopped improving it. But of course, the next time I build it, or somebody builds it, you know, if I say I get a job being a teaching assistant in a school or something, I would build it again to show the students. So let's take this bit out, and there's that bit there that's connected on with the little green spacer. I'll take that off. There's your blue spacer, pink clip, 2 cogs, and then the flywheel, which probably needs moving around. And there's that bit. And excuse me. And there's the final part. That's actually hooked in there. That's actually clipped in there. Take that out, because that just pivots on there. This cog isn't fixed to the axle. It's not attached to the axle. It spins freely on it. This cog here spins freely on the axle. That axle is rigid in the frame. So there's the last bit of the gear train. Another spacer. And there's the final base. Now, where did we get to with this? So 17 minutes it took to take that to bits, and there it all is. So it's actually going to go in that box there. So I've got a whole 2 boxes of Knex, and there's some of the Lego there. I've rationalised the Lego connection. That's the 2 boxes that'll go in the loft. Model aircraft stuff and whatnot. So there you go. I'll just carry on rambling as I carry on dismantling. The bigger pieces, there's a bit there. It might be easier to look at it from there, I think. Some of these other pieces. And as I try and get everything down into 2-dimensional form. Let's just snag this up somehow. There's a governor. And I'll use the pulley as a stand, but it actually, so that's that there. So I'm just going to get everything down into 2 dimensions. Here's the axle that carried the pulley from the steam engine. Woohoo! Another bit there. There's the tone arm raise and lower. And the gear shaft there as well.